Welcome back, everybody. My name's Emery Wolf, and joining me is
Nick Lamb.
I accidentally hit the pause button instead of.
Yeah, I don't think you had the audio going.
I'm a disaster. It's going. I'm sure it's working.
It's just really quiet. It's there. It's really quiet.
Yeah. Anyways, somewhere in this disaster is a podcast called Just Two Camera Guys, a show where we're going to talk about all things camera. We are continuing our Moose Jaw Film Festival bid here, Nick.
Yeah, it's coming up soon, February 28th.
Yeah. So last week we kind of talked about some of the details with it and stuff. I'm wondering too, you had a lot of awards up there. Did you guys get quite a few submissions? Do you even know how many?
Yeah, I think we had 109 submissions overall.
Oh, wow.
So way more than we'd expected. And the quality of the submissions has been blowing me away. Just
that's
amazing.
That's a pretty good turnout. And all of them from Saskatchewan.
Yeah, or so they said.
Well,
it's on the honor system for most of it, but
yeah,
most of the people know people to check them out and ask. So yeah, some really incredible Saskatchewan submissions.
Cool. So the event date is February 28th. It's coming up real quick here. So if you haven't, you need to get your tickets. So head on over to moosejawfilmfestival.com. Nick, that day itself, you're going to be in the house?
Yeah, going to be there helping put together the awards show and hanging around, helping out wherever I can. I'm going to try to watch as many of the films as I can also. So
have you watched them yet? I know we are interviewing some people here. Have you watched
I've watched most of them.
Okay. Sweet.
So I haven't seen every one, but I've seen most of them.
Sweet. Well, let's jump into our guest today. Joining us is Raj. He made a film called Two on the Moon. And it's got some interesting stuff we will jump in and talk about. Thanks for joining us, Raj.
Thank you for having.
Perfect. Do you maybe want to give
Raj?
us like? Yeah.
Oh, I can hear Raj.
Yeah. I'm here, everybody.
Do you want to maybe give me a bit of a overview of what your film's about?
Yeah. The overview is it is a short about a little robot puppet who is lost on the moon, and he is trying to find things to do.
You're gonna have to take over, Emery. I'm gonna log back in because I can't hear.
I love that. That's just gonna be in our podcast. We will work out Nick's issues and we'll keep going. Raj, do you mind? Is it something I can show like maybe 20 seconds of?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go through the share screen thing here. The last time I did this, I couldn't get the audio working, but hopefully I can this time. But yeah, let's give this a go.
Okay.
So that's the film. And I guess one thing I just want to say for sure, like it's film. What made you choose 8mm?
Well, it sort of fell upon us that we were going to be doing a one-take Super 8 last year, and it all fell apart in a really great way. The show happened because Crispi, Lord at Wide Open Theater in Saskatchewan, mounted this show, about a 25-minute show of Two on the Moon, for a live kids audience. And I went and saw it, and I was smiling the whole time. And I thought, when we were doing this one-take Super 8 on film, it'd be fun to do a short version of 2.0 if we could figure out how to rehearse it and do it all correctly. And we did. And we sent the film away, and the film got sent back and said, this did not get exposed. So the Super 8 festival said, hey, if you can manage to shoot it again real quick, we'll still get you in. So we reshot it the very next day, got our team together, reshot it the next day, and sent it away. And that next day, the Canada Post strike happened. So it's never been seen because it never got into that festival. And we got the film back, and we did our own scan at home. And we loved the way it looked, and we loved the way it came together. And that's how it ended up for the very first time premiering at the Moose Jaw Film Festival.
Nice though, and we ruined about 10 seconds of it for everybody. You're welcome.
You didn't ruin any part of
I'm wondering too, like, what did you guys actually use to film this then? Like, because it's, I guess nowadays, like everything's video, so it's not
Yeah, we
common to
actually
see
shot
film.
it on Super 8 film cartridge. I've got it in the other room on a Bell and Howell XL camera from early 1970s, and not really anything more than a home movie camera. Definitely not a studio camera, but it worked out really, really well. We did light it. We did treat it like we were shooting a real film in the sense that we really wanted to block it properly, rehearse it properly, and before we went and actually pressed that trigger on the camera, we really knew what we were going to be getting, or at least fingers crossed. We thought we knew, and it turned out really, really well for us. And I think when we see it on film and it's got that lunar feel with a puppet, it's got that kind of projector flicker like that we really love, that kind of remind us of like old moon landing. And we thought with the moon landings and stuff coming up, it sort of works out fun.
The old Bell and Howell thing, is it literally like this one?
It's a lot like that one, but it does have I've got it over here. I could grab it for you. It's a little bigger. It does have a microphone for it. It's one of the old ones that could do sound if you had sound film. And yeah, so it's a little bit bigger, but yeah, very much that type of thing.
Yeah, this is just
yours might just be an 8. Like this is Super 8, so it's a little different.
It does have the double inside. It's just like a super compact version.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it.
So this is the Super 8's a little smaller film, but yeah.
Yeah, and I think it does like it's a super small reel that's inside there. I want to say it's probably like a minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah, ours it's 3 minutes and like 3. I think it's 3 and 12, something like that. If you shoot it perfectly, but I think yeah.
I've never ever actually used this thing, but I've always kind of been curious. But like even with that, like I don't even know where to buy film, let alone where to go get it developed anymore.
Well, I know that we can get it to Film Pool in Regina. I know that we can get it through Paved in Saskatoon, Paved Arts. They're both part of that collective. You can order it. It does cost a little more if you order it from some of the big companies. But when we get it through a One Take Super 8 festival, they usually try to get us a bit of a deal. And then we rescanned it actually at Film Rescue here in Indian Head in Saskatchewan, and they did a beautiful scan, 4K scan. It's almost too good, and so we went back to using our original. Yeah.
Now, just so we could all be on the same page, what's a one take? What does that mean in your world?
One Take Super 8 basically means you shoot your film, and when you stop and you start your trigger, that's your edit. You don't get to take the film and then edit it. So it's whatever you shoot in whatever order you shoot, that is what you hand into the festival. So as a filmmaker, I don't get to edit, splice it, do anything with it. It's just whatever I shot in whatever order I shot it in, that's what goes into the film festival. So when you shoot something that's that's kind of scripted, it's like you really have to get your scenes in the correct order. Obviously it won't work. So yeah, like I know that some people will do music videos using them and it works. It's a little more forgiving. But this, it was, we shot it and the one thing that we also did is we shot it side by side with a digital camera so that I could take the edit from the digital camera and we could make a soundscape for it, which again should theoretically sync with our film. And that was the big challenge. And that I did with T-Bone at Sound Lounge. So when I took my footage from my digital camera, it basically was just listening to the sound of the film camera, and that's my start and stop. That's how I edited it. I just went wherever the sound starts on the film camera that I'm listening to in the digital. That's our rough cut for the sound design.
Wow. So was this the version that you submitted to the Moose Jaw Film Festival?
Yes.
It's a one take equivalent. Wow.
Exactly. I could bring the film and you could theoretically play the film off of a projector, but this way you can play it off of a bigger, better projector.
Cool. It looks like Crispi joined us here.
Oh, good.
Maybe add them in here.
She's got a lot more to add than just the technical stuff.
All right. I think your mic is muted, but you're now joining us. Hopefully you can hear us, Crispi.
I can. Sorry about that. Got
Beautiful.
a little delayed.
That's all good. It's all good. Yeah, we're just talking about the
2-0
short here. Yeah. Raj kind of mentioned like Tuo was a character before, it seemed like before this film.
Yeah, so I created him for a theatrical production that Wide Open Children's Theater did. Coming out of the pandemic, we wrote a show. I wrote a show. So it's 45 minutes of him exploring. He spies things through his little telescope and then tries to make them on the moon with all the space junk. But it's a 45-minute show, and it's a lot of fun. So we just compacted it down and chose special moments to share in the film.
Nice. The whole idea of like puppets in this too. When I first watched it, I was kind of watching, I'm like, okay, film. Nice. That's neat. You don't see that often. And then I started kind of watching, like, how are they doing this? Are they animating it? And then it took me a while before I'm like, oh, it's puppets. So was this like they were built before too as well, or?
Yeah, so they were built for the stage play, and it's called tabletop theater. So you can see the puppeteers during the stage play. Because of the film, you don't see us at all, but there's a rod coming out of the back of the body. So on the digital version, you can see our hands a little bit. We're controlling it all from directly behind the puppet. About 8 inches or 10 inches behind the puppet are the mechanisms to make them work.
Cool. Yeah, the whole, like I said, the idea of puppets, I think is pretty neat with it. How big are these things roughly too? Like how much are you
Duo is
actually moving?
about 5 inches, 4 inches tall.
Oh,
And then
wow. I couldn't. Yeah, I was wondering that too, because it's like you could have told me it was 6 feet, or you could have told me it was like half an inch, and I would have believed you either way.
Yeah, so the moon that he walks around on is about 4 feet tall, 4 feet diameter.
Okay, cool.
And the fun part of the moon is we can flip it sideways, or you can have it straight up and down. And so we used it in a bunch of different ways. And sometimes it was turning on its motor. Sometimes it wasn't. So yeah.
The little storyline that it follows, how'd you guys come up with that?
So the idea was to have this character who he's living all by himself, and he's so lonely and doesn't really know the joys that we experience, those everyday moments of beauty that we have on Earth. So by looking through his telescope, he can discover different elements of that, which was really fun to think about, like what would he see and what would he be exploring, and what are those moments of joy if you have never experienced them before.
Yeah. Some neat little interactions with, I'm going to say some props in there and stuff like that. I also like that we've already talked for like 10 minutes about a 4-minute short film. Fantastic.
But it's like, it's so hard to explain this film if you haven't seen it. It's totally worth getting to Moose Jaw for the 10 a.m. part to see this film. And what I'm curious is seeing it on the big screen versus the little screen. Do you have any idea? Like, have you seen Super 8 on the big screen? Do you have any idea what that's going to look like?
I've been to a few Super 8 festivals where they'll put it up on the big screen at the Roxy, and it looks great. I mean, there's something really oddly, I compare it a lot to old school animation where it's hand-drawn versus CGI. What I love about CGI is that it looks real, but unfortunately it feels kind of more fake. And the analog nature of these puppets and being on like an organic film, there's something about it that feels more real, even though in some ways it kind of looks fake, but it really isn't.
Was there something like were you specifically trying to tap that feeling?
I think that when we looked at our different versions of it and we saw the very projected, very analog version, we liked it more. We kind of went, there's something very, very, I don't know, I forget what the word is, but we really like that analog nature of that projector.
And the aesthetic of that film really feels like the moon landing sort of footage. So it just suited the storyline as much as anything else.
Yeah, that's a great comparison, the moon landing footage.
Yeah, it just adds to the storytelling, which is marvelous when the medium actually makes your storytelling stronger.
Yeah, the second you said it was just like, boom, you've got that image of Neil Armstrong. Yeah. You're like, yeah, it matches. It was beautiful. Go ahead, Nick.
Sorry, go. Did you rehearse it on the digital camera to get your timing down? Because you said for the score you did, but was that something you would shoot it first?
No, nothing was shot anything before. Like we didn't shoot it or frame it with anything but the film camera. The digital camera was there just so that we could create the score and get it as close to as possible what we shot on the day. It wasn't framed exactly the same. It was close, but we actually learned a lot because of that first failure where the film didn't go through the camera and we got the film sent back. When we did it the second time, we were like, oh, we kind of did it a little bit smarter. So it was a little bit of a unplanned learning. So yeah.
Yeah, learning through failure. That's the best way. That's the camera way, I think. Have you guys had like much experience with film festivals?
I've had a few film festivals that we've entered with other projects that we've won a couple of awards for other projects that we've done. One of them was also another show with puppets. It was a feature film called Titus Puppet Vengeance, and that one's been nominated and won a few, and so we're really proud of that one, and then a few others that I've had some nominations for, and we're looking forward to getting a few others. I think we've got a couple other shows in the including Titus at this festival as well.
Have you been able to attend those other festivals at all?
Yorkton, yes. Rome, no. New York, no. And a few others, no. So yeah, it's fun to be able to hop in the car and come on down.
That's kind of the fun part, right? Like I assume you guys are going to be coming down to Moose Jaw for this and experience all Moose Jaw has to offer.
Yes. I'm not sure what your plan is yet because we just found out about it yesterday.
I'm there. If you'll drive me, I'll come with you.
Sweet.
Awesome. So how do you get into, because I've often had the thought of like, oh, filming on film would be cool, but it's never made it past that thought. Like what makes you actually get into film and do stuff on it? Because you've done that too, Emery, but what makes you actually
I just love the beauty of film, and there's something. It's really good to go back, whether it's photography and shooting on film, because it's so much easier to shoot digital. I mean, I've got my digital camera, of course. Why would I shoot on film? It costs more and it's more cumbersome, and there's more chances that the film's not going to work. But I think it sort of teaches you to really frame and think through your shot before you press that trigger.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, is that sort of the same thing for you, Crispi? Are you like film, hate it?
This is my first experience with it. It's nice because it forces you to accept what you've done. So there's no 100 takes. You're doing it fast and dirty and moving on, which is the way that I like to perform on stage too. You just accept, you're always accepting what's happened actually on stage, and it really makes you be in that moment. And it just has this beautiful sense of humanity and the way life happens. It's messy, it's dirty, but it's freaking fabulous.
Yeah, and I agree. Like, I also like the rehearsing part of it, going like, let's figure out everything we can possibly figure out in rehearsal. Let's not just roll and then start figuring it out. Like I've done that with filmmakers, and I've done it myself, and I feel like it's a bad habit. It's a great exercise to use film and go get it all right, figure it all out first, and then just get it. Take the shot instead of having in my edit suite 30 takes or more, like, and then trying to figure out which one. Okay, the performance was better here, but there was a weird something in the background, all those problems.
Cumulatively, how long do you think this 4-minute short film actually took you guys when you take all that pre-planning and stuff?
Including the pre-planning? I mean, like the shoot actually only took about 2.5 hours?
Yeah, it was a very fast shoot, but you have to remember this was a stage play first, so that was probably a month in development, and including the build and rehearsal process, and then we had to refine that down to the 4 minutes from 45 minutes. So a lot longer than those 2.5 hours. That's quite deceptive.
Yeah, like for me coming in, from where I'm standing, like of course, I saw the show. And then go, if we storyboard this down to like 8 or 10 scenes, like shots and angles, we can probably do this and make it work in that 3-minute window. But yeah, it was a matter of very selectively picking that, and that took a little bit of time too. So yeah, I mean that was a few hours as well.
And I'll
What-
add that it's a non-verbal show. So it's not just like, oh, we need these lines and we need to keep this. It's like, no, you're actually going through performance footage and the performance storyboard and figuring out what moments we need to keep.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I love about it being there's no language is that we can show it to any audience anywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. What amazes me, so now that I know that it was a full 30-minute play before, that's incredible that it within this 4-minute film, you feel a lot of emotion. So you somehow managed to keep the emotion of a longer play into a very short film. So yeah, good job on that. It was incredibly well done.
We had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. The category it's in is experimental. What do you think makes it experimental?
Well, there's like, it's a style of puppetry where traditionally you see the puppeteers. So that's a little bit odd translating that into, do we then hide the puppeteers in the film version? How do we step through this transition?
Yeah, and I see it like, well, we're trying to, as a filmmaker, point the camera or tighten the camera up or widen it out so that the audience knows what they want to be looking at, as opposed to shooting a live performance where your eye has to kind of find, and focus on the action. Whereas as in film, you can control that a little bit more. And I think that helps draw that emotion out in the scenes.
Yeah. Nick mentioned this is getting shown at 10 a.m. or that time slot, I should say, for the event. Why do you think people should be showing up to watch it?
It's a great kids show. Bring the kids. They're excited.
It's really great for all ages. It does have that nonverbal element to it, and you're right, it's that heart of this little character who's been so isolated and finds his way in the world in this short little time frame, which all of us need that message right now. We need to get out of our own homes and come out in the world and find community. And that's what Tuo does.
Yeah, I think
awesome.
that's a great.
Now that time slot hasn't been confirmed. I don't know if it'll be 10. That'll be sorted out later, but I'll assume it'll be in.
The point is bring your kids, come meet Raj and Crispi and have a good time.
Yeah, and I love that we're getting a public screening where everyone's going to get to see it. So that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
awesome.
And you said it's the first screening.
Oh, I don't know what the.
Oh, of 2.0.
Of 2.0.
Oh yeah, it is a premiere. Yeah, this is a world premiere for audiences. The only people that have seen it are Crispi, me, and T-Bone.
Until Emery gave away about 10 seconds of it earlier.
10 seconds that you showed. It was early on in the show, so nothing gets given away.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else we're missing about the short that people should know?
Or how can we contact you? Or how can people get in touch with you?
Sorry, on socials, I will jump in because I know Raj is not on socials, but Wide Open Children's Theater is on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook, and you can see more clips of the show. You might have to scroll back through, and you can see the other work we've been working on.
Yeah, my website is Flowing Line Pictures or flowingline.ca, and I can be found on Facebook, either Raj Padmanabh or Flowing Line Pictures.
All right, cool. I think we will wrap it up at that, Nick. Again, the Moose Jaw Film Festival is rolling February 28th, of course, in Moose Jaw. You can get your tickets online at moosejawfilmfestival.com. I've got the thing up there. You'll figure it out. Click around. And Raj, Crispi, thanks for joining us. That was a blast.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Good seeing both of you. Awesome. Have a good night, everybody.